Hey guys, welcome back to the God is Within Her podcast. I'm your guide sis, Chelsea. Have you ever wondered how Jesus really walked, how he lived? How did Jesus respond to the devil? Because we always hear terms like walk like Jesus, be like Jesus. You have to, I feel like a real important part of that is to be mindful of Jesus's character and how he responded to things and how he responded to the devil. It's that term of what would Jesus do? I finally, as a young adult, understand that term. And we mostly see evidence of this in Matthew 4. So, number one to walking like Jesus is give God your undivided attention. So, in Matthew 4, we see how Jesus is baptized and the doves go into heaven. That representation showed me in my head when I imagined the doves going to heaven. It was like breaking a seal. It was like breaking the seal of us to be forgiven here on earth into heaven. It's like similar to when we're saved and we're like, okay, God, I'm giving you it all. It's like once we said yes to God, the doves go into heaven and God is like, oh, well done. Thank you. But it ain't that easy. Jesus fasted for 40 days. Right after that, it says, Matthew 4, then Jesus was led by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. After fasting for 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. The tempter came to him and said, literally, as soon as he broke that seal and fasted, the devil met him right there. It's the same representation as when we are saved and we recognize our salvation and we've received God. And then we are so much more spiritually and mentally aware of our surroundings. And the devil is too. And he comes to keep you in those same cycles that you were in before. So it requires your full energy, your undivided attention. And a good practical way to do this is to just set aside time each day for God. And that duration is determined by your spirit in your life and what God is leading you to do and what you need to divulge and what you need to talk to God about. So remember, Jesus did it for 40 days. That's the first step into walking like Jesus, okay? We got to, number one, give God some of our undivided attention. Number two is have some self-control. We need to discipline our flesh. Hello? Because the devil is there ready to tempt us, ready to keep us in what we feel is familiar and what we are comfortable in. Because the devil watches us, lurks around like a roaring lion, watches your every move, knows when you're good and knows what ticks you off. And he did it to Jesus. As soon as the devil noticed that God was hungry, that Jesus was hungry, he said, all right, I'll give you this bread. But you have to say that the Lord is not real. I'll give you this bread, but you have to do this. Jesus said, no, For everything that the devil had, Jesus had a nice little clap back right with him. And it's so crazy because the devil knew the word just as good as Jesus. That's the thing. The devil would come looking so good in the times where, and it can be easily misconstrued as a blessing from God. Again, it's leaning on the spirit to figure out and to know, look, God, is this you? It's not always jumping on every opportunity when it comes your way, because every opportunity is not a blessing. So lean on God, because the devil is ready to tempt you with whatever you're struggling with, whatever is hard. Jesus was having a weak moment because he was hungry after fasting for 40 days. And the devil saw that and was like, oh, let me bring some bread to him. Let me get him real quick. And Jesus said, But the word says you will not live off of bread alone, but by the word of God. Period. So have that self-discipline. Know God so that you don't believe the lies. And number 3, there is power in your no. Okay? For every way the devil was trying to tempt, Jesus had a nice little clap back for him. It's a no over here. It's a no. And I feel like practically we have to, as people, understand the joy of missing out. But we've been crippled by the fear of missing out that we will go through leaps and bounds to fulfill some need, whether it's yours or someone else's. But that need, God didn't even say go do. Sometimes no matter how much we want to hold on to it, just let go and watch God work. Watch God work it out. For this has been pivotal for me in depicting in my life when I can't make like close friend events. Like if I can't make a close friend birthday or a close event like a graduation, a baby shower, pregnancy, I literally love my friends. They're like my sisters to hear them back. So when I can't give in the way that I'm used to giving, it makes me feel guilty and it makes me feel like, no, I have to do all of this XYZ to prove my love and to prove this. No. I had to get to a point where I just pray through things that come up. And I've experienced the joy of missing out, not having your peace snatched out of your soul. Okay? You got to be real meticulous and strategic of how and where you go. Because as a child of God, everyone cannot have access to you. Okay? Protect yourself. Use that power you know. Because we are trying to walk like Jesus. We're walking like Jesus. Number 1, we need to give God our undivided attention. Some way, somehow throughout the day. Number 2, self-control. Have discipline over your flesh. And number 3, the power of no. Use it. It's very authoritative. Use it. And it feels so good when you've done something to show love to yourself. It can be hard to do because at the same time it may be not putting someone else's feelings first, but only you and God know your spirit. You need to consult and see how we moving forward. All right, friends, we've made it to the faith check. This is where I challenge you to meditate on the scriptures mentioned in this episode. And today's faith check is going to be Matthew 4. Okay? Matthew talks about Jesus' life and how he came to redeem. And I really think you would find a lot out of Matthew. And especially if you're in wilderness season, Matthew 4, beautiful. So I hope this message was a help for you. That's it for now. I'll see you next time. Bye. Make sure you subscribe to the show so you don't miss when we post the next episode.